Hello everyone, this is Ritesh from Dancing with Data क्योंकि data ही data है. So in front of you, you can see my latest COVID dashboard. I know that you have seen a lot of COVID dashboard, and I hope to give you a new perspective over here. For example, there is still one country in the world claiming that they never had any COVID case. There are still a bunch of countries in the world saying there are zero deaths in their country with respect to COVID. And also, this dashboard will help you to dynamically compare the different region with respect to the pattern of the COVID cases. So what are you waiting for? Let's move ahead. So let's move over to the different components that we have on the top left hand side. You can see new deaths, cumulative deaths and cumulative cases. This is fixed as of 4th of March 2022. Here you can see WHO COVID waves now with respect to total cases. Now, if you change that to total death, it will change with respect to total deaths. On the right hand side, it shows you simply the country having the maximum total deaths. So in this case, this is United States, followed by Brazil, India, Russia, and Mexico. Greater than 50%, that means you are grouping the countries having more than 50% of the cases with respect to the country having the highest number of total deaths. So here we can say that India and Brazil, these are the two countries having more than 50% of the country having the highest number of total deaths. So this helps us to group on the fly, and we can analyze the same with respect to the geographical location. So let me come out of this filter. So we are talking about total deaths and total cases with respect to the average. That's why I have the third parameter over there, which is average cases. Now, with respect to average cases, that means sum of the cases divided by the population of that country. So now you see the different perspective. So with respect to average cases, we have more problems here and more problems there and there as well. Surprisingly, India having a much smaller circle over there. So that forced me to think about, do Indians are more resistant to COVID-19 virus? Now, can I explain this in simple words? Both you and your American friend, you both enjoyed the street food. The very next day, you were in the office, but your American friend was not there in the office. So this article is talking about the same thing. And your American friend was working from home. He was ill. That's it. That's the explanation. In other words, if you are living in a city with air pollution, maybe that is helping you to develop your immune system as well. Now let us try to compare two different countries, say America and India. Now here you can see it started from there. India was okay. When America was at peak during the first wave, at that point of time we were helping the world, right? And if you see at that point of time as well, when we suffered from the first COVID wave, when we recovered from the first, not recovered, but we were in a better situation. Even at that point of time, we were trying to help the other countries. When it comes to casualty, the second phase, the second wave was worst for India. So if I go to total deaths over there, you can see. So you can see when India was stable relatively and America was not stable, and when India was unstable, we had maximum death during the second wave, if you remember. America, somehow it was going down. So there is no match with respect to the waves over there. Now let us focus on a single country, say Spain. And let me switch over to total cases. And if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when we analyze the sixth wave for Spain, there are maximum number of cases over there. It's moving up quite exponentially. But when I switch over to total deaths, so I can see that it's not affecting, and for the good only. Most of the people are vaccinated, and probably that is the reason that you can see a lot of cases over there, but casualties are less. And in order to back that, let me show you one article. Now here is the article, how Spain's sixth wave compares more cases than ever, but nearly half the number of hospital admissions. So let me come out of this. This explains the article. Well, there is no price to guess from where it started, but there is still one interesting thing to notice. It all started from China. So if I pick the date slider, if I drag it from right to left, I can see from where it started. But you need to give some points to China the way it recovered. It's not there in the picture itself. Now there is a big question that how it recovered so quickly, where rest of the world was struggling, China was still able to flourish its economy. Now here is one of the articles which talk about the discipline, the strict rules, the dedication shown by the Chinese people and government. Now you will see some of that articles as well, talking about China not showing the actual number, but if you see the overall picture, they did recover in a fast pace. Now let's come over to the most interesting phase of this presentation. Now I would like to toggle over to the countries claiming zero COVID cases or say zero death. So you can see there are a bunch of countries over there. So let me first try to select this group. I'll come to this later. Okay, so I can see all the countries claiming zero COVID deaths. These all are neighboring countries, so it makes sense. And also, at the same time, it shows that these are all islands. So if I take example of this country, and there is one block to back this. So the country has been appreciated for the health operation. Yes, these countries are isolated from the other land, but also remember that these are all tourist destination. So full marks to the islands countries over there for controlling COVID-19 cases and making total deaths to zero. Remember that there are many island countries which have not been able to replicate the same. Remember that. Also remember that this has got some population there as well. So all looks fine, but what about this country? My God, this is not a small country in terms of population, but the location is quite off. So it's hard to believe that a country surrounded by Iran with total death around 130K is having zero total deaths. Not only zero total deaths, this is the only country having zero cases as well. Now I'll give you the answer.
Of Turkmenistan and the surrounding countries. Now, these surrounding countries all have COVID 19. We're talking Kazakhstan, over 91,000 cases, Iran, over 300,000 cases, Afghanistan, over 36,000 cases, Uzbekistan, 25,000, Tajikistan, 7,000, Kyrgyzstan, 36,000, and somehow Turkmenistan, right in the middle of all that, zero cases. Now, either that's a public health miracle or it's a reflection that Turkmenistan ranks 179th out of 180 countries in the world when it comes to freedom of information, and its government has declared that there will be no coronavirus, there will be no COVID-19. Now,
so I got my answer. Probably this country is not telling true, and this is a reflection of having rank 179 out of 100 countries in the world when it comes to freedom of expression. So I hope that this dashboard has given you a new perspective, maybe in one or two cases. I hope so. And I wish you all the best for this weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Till then, keep on dancing with data, क्योंकि data ही दाता है क्या तुमको सब कुछ आता है. Bye bye.